Hello, everybody. My name is Johan. I'm 18 years old. I consider myself a libertarian, and I consider myself part of the liberty movement. Um, I guess you would call me a political activist, although I'm still very young and very much not completely informed, not nearly as informed as I'd like to be. Um, some people would call my ideals and my beliefs crazy, because the same people that call my beliefs crazy are the same people that call Dr. Ron Paul crazy and fringe. He was a fringe candidate, and they spout all this nonsense about him, which are completely untrue and completely unfounded, and they were, in my opinion, just founded on liberal media bias, who don't understand his stances on economics and anything really. They would just make assumptions about him, and they'd call him a racist, and they'd slander him. But I digress. Basically, I've started this YouTube channel because I've wanted to do this whole political vlogging thing for a while, but I've never really I never felt really completely informed, and I kind of feared that I would be saying something dumb, and you know how the internet is. Um, but I'm taking a big leap here, and I'm doing this very personal thing, this vlogging, because I used to do uh, YouTube videos with Call of Duty gameplay behind them, and it was very informal. It was very, um, base really the reason I'm starting to do this now is because what I just said, and also because birds. Um, I was watching. Goddamn. I was watching the We Are Change YouTube channel. I'm gonna leave a description to the channel and to the website for We Are Change below in the description. I strongly recommend that you go check both out. They are a great force in the liberty movement. They are excellent journalists, and I think the main correspondent, his name is Luke. He's from New York. Uh, there's really good stuff on there. They did these things called confrontation. They confronted Ben Bernanke, the chairman of the Federal Reserve, who is a greaseball, a fucking excuse my language. I'm gonna try to keep these as formal and professional as I possibly can. But he's a slimeball, and really he's just a political stooge, and the whole Federal Reserve is the topic front of the day. I have very strong beliefs about the Federal Reserve, but I'm going to keep these front of the day. I'm going to try to keep this as short as possible, not ramble too much, which I'm doing right now. So I was watching them, and I was watching a couple videos, and really the one that made them the biggest impact on me was the Occupy Wall Street one, where it was their live stream, I believe, because they had said something to him. It was on live streaming, so I'm live streaming this. So I would guess it's a live stream. It wasn't from their channel I was watching. It was a compilation of the Occupy Wall Street protests and the action that police officers took against them. And but I digress. I was watching that, and I was seeing these protesters that weren't bothering anybody being harassed and tackled to the ground and thrown to the ground by these police officers because they were protesting, which is well within their rights. It's in the Constitution. You can protest. They barricaded a public park, which in New York law, I believe that you cannot barricade a public park because it's a public area. And they were doing something that they are constitutionally allowed to do, and the fact that these officers would use such force and such brutality to people that they didn't even fight back. I guess they resisted because they were being tackled. What would you do if you were being tackled to the ground by this big guy and all this gear? But yeah, I was watching that, and I sort of kept getting angry. It was a 20-minute video, and I just, with every passing second, I just got angry and angry, and I was like, I'm gonna come out here. I'm gonna try to make a difference. And now I am in the midst of starting writing to We Are Change to start a chapter here in Miami, excuse me, which is where I live, and oh boy, excuse me. I'm gonna try to start a chapter for We Are Change here in Miami with a couple friends of mine, and try to get the people in Miami motivated to open their eyes and to see that this is not Kansas anymore, and it hasn't been for a long time. We got to stop living in this fantasy world that we're still the greatest country on earth. We're not. We're tyrannical. We're letting our government control us, take our rights away. They're trying to censor the internet, which they can't do. It's preposterous that they censor the internet. They're trying to take our guns away, and you might argue that it's general welfare, but it's not, because it's still well within our rights in the Constitution to bear arms. And if I want to buy an AR-15 rifle, and it's not an assault weapon, it is styled like an assault weapon, but it is not an assault weapon. Do not listen to the liberal biased media. Go out there, inform yourself, get both sides of the story. I'm not saying to completely ignore liberal media and just go with right-wing conservative stuff, because that's insane. Don't get both sides of the story. Don't be a sheep. I guess it's what I'm trying to tell you, and inform yourself. But I digress again. If I want to buy an AR-15 rifle, I should go and buy one. I'm not saying that I should just go and hey, $50 and obviously that's a bit of an exaggeration. I just throw some money on the counter and I should just receive one. No, I believe we should have background checks, but and more importantly, we should have mental health checks. And this whole gun debate thing is really distracting from what's really wrong. It's the drug war and the lack of mental health initiatives and all this stuff. But those are all topics that I'm going to cover throughout the life cycle of this channel, I guess, which I hope is quite long. And thank you for watching me ramble for I don't know how long, because I don't have a timer in front of me. My stopwatch or my phone is right there, and this camera doesn't have a flip out screen. But thank you for watching. Stay tuned for more. I'm going to leave the links in the description to We Are Change, and support the movement, liberty and peace. Thank you.